Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, These Curses Shall Overtake Thee. These curses shall overtake thee. And this, I'm not going to make this too long, but this is a question coming from off the comment board. And, you know, somebody was asking, you know, how can the so-called Latinos and Native American Indians be a part of the tribes? And this is a big question, especially coming from Jake, man. I mean, the so-called Negro tribe, because they think that all the tribes are just black, or so-called black or Negroes. You see, but the Lord told you, my heritage is of a speckled bird. You see, and the Lord, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, he's from the tribe of Judah. You see, and Judah is the head tribe. That is the so-called Negro tribe, which would be ultimately a lot of Negroes like here in the Americas, and the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, like the Haitians or Jamaicans, and different, scattered out there in the Caribbeans. But, there's Judites all over that are scattered, man. There's so-called Negroes that are scattered into all other countries too. You see, but Israel is scattered into all countries, all nations. This is what the Lord said. He said Israel will be multiplied as the sand of the sea. You can't multiply the sands of the sea. If you try to scoop up a grain of sand and try to pick out each little rock all across the world of the sand, it's impossible. No human can do that. That's how large Jake is, man. That's how big Israel is. But you have Jake, Israelites into all nations, and they look like other nations too. But the Native American so-called Indians and the so-called Latinos, you know, if we're gonna get into it, it tells you about the curses. The Lord said, I'm going to send these curses upon thee until it overtakes thee. And it will be for signs and wonders, roughly paraphrasing it. And in Israel, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Native American Indians, and the Latinos have been castrated. Went from captivity. Israel has went from captivity to captivity to captivity. And we're still in captivity right now. I mean, if we look around, we're on the bottom, man. We're on the bottom. Jake, you so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native American Indians right here in the Americas, you are the most imprisoned in this place. And that's just another form of slavery. You are the most imprisoned people in this country. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. These prison houses, these penitentiaries are filled with Jake, man. Jake. That's who this place, that's who that prison system, and it's still to this day, is filled with Jake. Without a question. Without a question. You know, and for so long, Jake has been on the bottom, man. Jake has been on the bottom for the Lord. These curses have just, they've destroyed Jake. Like he said, I'm going to send these curses upon you until they overtake thee, till they destroy you, man. Everything that we've pretty much, that we're in this place, America, And across this system is to destroy Jake, man. You look here in the Americas and even across the world too, but ultimately here in America, because this is where the good majority of the bulk, of Jake, and the Negroes, a lot of Negroes are, because Judah is the head tribe. See, Judah is the head tribe. You so-called Negroes, the head tribe. Because of the Lord, YAHAWAHSHI is the ultimate Judite. That's why Judah, you so-called Negro tribe, that's why you pretty much, you got it the worst, man. That's why you're on the forefront. See? Because you are the head tribe. But let me I'm gonna get into a couple quick scripts. I don't want to make this too long, but the tribes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you have been under the curses, man. You have been under the curses, but these curses are coming off of Jake, and the Lord is going to remove these curses. They're coming off of Jake right now. They're slowly but surely coming off Jake right now, and they're going to be put on. Ultimately, Esau, Edom, the so-called white folks, the Caucasians, and the red people, and to these other nations, they're going to be the ones who are cursed. And we're going to read some of the curses, man. And like I said, the Lord, like he said, it would be for signs and wonders. And if we go through the history, Israelites had other Israelite slaves. Still to this day, Israelites are enslaving other Israelites. You see? Still to this day. I'm going to go to, matter of fact, I'm going to go to, let's go to Genesis. I'm going to go right to the point too, because I don't want to make this too long. But this is why the Lord say, blesseth he that readeth. Seek and ye shall find. Study to show thyself approved. You got to study and look and pray and, go deep into these words and go deep, man. Because this is like the Lord said in Psalm 83, the nations are trying to cut Israel off from being a nation, and the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. Yeah, and you ask Jake now where they're from and where their family's from. Jake claimed that they from Houston, Texas. My family that lived here, and they born and raised. My great grandfather, he owned land, and such, and we from here. I ain't from no Jerusalem. My family ain't never been to Jerusalem. They ain't from no Israel. You don't know. You don't know. See? But Jake comes from royalty, man, from the Lord. And a lot of Jakes can't understand this. They can't understand this, man. And then you wonder why you got it so hard. And there's no democracy. There's no justice here. Because you were sent here for this place in captivity, man. This is one big prison place for Jake, but Jake tries to make it out to be a penthouse and to live like a player, and to be the billionaire. That was, the Lord didn't send you here for that, man. He sent you here for punishment, and that's why Jake has it hard, man. It has it hard. You want to be successful, and you're a Jake in this country. You have to do backflips and windmills and push-ups and cartwheels. You got to do it. Woo! If you want to go to be next to the devil, that's what you got to do. Because we're gonna go to Genesis 37 and 26. We'll start at 26 because Joseph, the 12 brothers, 11 of them, Jacob's sons end up selling Joseph, one of the brothers, because Joseph was Jacob's favorite. And just like today, Jake be hating on each other, feeling some type of way. Jake, you can't go nowhere, or, because Jake might, look at you funny or mean mug you and try to start something, and this is the same thing going back way to in Genesis, his brothers, mad at Joseph. And Joseph was able to interpret dreams and stuff. And see, they didn't like that. Genesis 37 and 26, and it reads, they wanted to kill Joseph. They wanted to kill him. But I'll go to 23. It says, 22. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him, that he might rid him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. And at 23, and it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him. 24. See, and that's just like Jake, man. Jake will rob their friend, their best friend. Jake will set their own cousin up, or it's didn't happen. It's didn't happen. And try to steal his money, or extort him, or do something wicked. Same thing right now. 24. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. 25. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites, the Arabics, the Ishmaelites, came from Gilead with their camels, bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. 26. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? See, they were trying to figure out how to get rid of Joseph, and they were thinking about killing him. But like it said, they seen the Ishmaelites, the Arabics coming down, and here they go. They plotting on the way. How can they get rid of Joseph? That's why it says they are wise to do evil. Jake is wise to do evil. What he say, roughly paraphrasing it? They are wise to do evil, but to do good they know not. Roughly paraphrasing it. Jake is extremely wise to hit licks and rob and to sell dope, and to get fast cash and do different plotting schemes. Jake knows how to do that. They're wise at that. See? And it goes right back to this. So they were trying to figure out how to get rid of him, but they seen the Ishmaelites coming. It says 26. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? 27. Come and let us sell him. Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh, and his brethren were content. You see that? They sold their own brother into slavery. It says 28. Then there passed by Midianites merchantmen And they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph into Egypt. You see, they sold him, man, right into slavery. His own brother. His own brother. And Jake is doing that right now. Jake is prostituting their own. You got Negroes, Latinos, the Native Americans, Indians. You got Jakes right now in this human sex trafficking. You could have a Negro woman and a Negro man, and that Negro man could be wicked as hell, and he didn't kidnapped her, extorted that woman, and here he is. Got that Judite woman and gonna sell her to some other country for $100,000 or $20,000, or I'm just using the example, and sell them into a sex trafficking slave, or prostituting, selling that woman for sex. That's going on right now. That's going on right now. So yeah. This is part of the heathenistic ways. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be selling your own people like that, doing corruption. See? But let me get to the curses. And you also have, I'm not going to go deep into it, but you do have, what's his name? What's his name? Tiberius Alexander. And he was a Jake too. He was in that siege. Matter of fact, let me go to that. Let me go to Luke. Because Tiberius Alexander, he was a Jake, and he was an Israelite, and he forsook Jake, and he was in that Roman Empire under that Vespasian and that Titus. He was Tiberius was a high-ranking officer, man, in that Roman army, and he killed and enslaved his own people. If you go read that what is that Babylon to Timbuktu, and it'll tell you, man. These different history books, it'll tell you about the captivity of Jake, man, of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. And they still have it hard today. They're still under the curses right now. Let me go to because that 70 AD, it was a lot of things that lead up to that siege in Jerusalem, because Jake was on the run and they fled into Africa during that 70 AD, that siege. You see? It was over a period of time too. But they Jake had to flee out of there, man. You see? But that Tiberius Alexander was in part of that, man. And enslaving Jake and killing his own people. Choosing to go with the heathen. And it's just the same thing today too. You have these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indian police officers, these Jake police officers, these little spies and agents, and they're with the heathen, and what they do, they go against their own people and try to bring them down and imprison them and all type of crazy stuff, man. And they're these Jake, a lot of these Jake police officers are worse than the heathen. They're quick to arrest their own kind or imprison them or do them some harm. Definitely. Their own kind. Let's go to Luke 21. Is it Luke 20? Luke. Salakia. Is it Luke 21? Okay, here we go. Salakia. And it reads, Luke 21 and 20, and it reads, it says, and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. You see, and that's what happened. You see, it says 21. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. See? It says 22, for these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Right. You see, so in that time of that 70 AD, Jake, Israel was getting sieged, man, in Jerusalem by the Romans. And that Tiberius Alexander, helped further that affliction. You see? But this slavery, Jake enslaving Jake, and this has been going on. Now let me get to the curses. And that's what they did in that siege. And then they fled into a lot of Jakes fled down into Africa, the west coast of Africa, the south part of Africa. They sold into them Hamites, them Africans, man. Jake got sold into, and from there a lot of captivity to captivity, man. You see? And that's how Jake, branched off to these different, all over, into these different places all over the world. But a lot of Jakes got brought over here to the other side of the world. You see? Let me go to Deuteronomy. I'm just going to read a few and then I'll close out. But that's what Jake was doing. Jake was, learning going in the way of the heathen all through the book. Jake going off, man. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. Let me get this. And this is why the Lord had to cast us away like that and put these curses on us, because our forefathers was going in the way of the heathen. Let's go to Jeremiah 17 and 4, and it reads. Jeremiah 17 and 4, and it reads. And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. You see, Jake went in the way of the heathen, man, and discontinue their heritage still to this day. Jake rejects this, man. We try to tell Jake that they are the Lord's people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. So the Lord has just put a spanking on Jake, man. He let these he sends all manner of wicked against you. You get in prison. You have it hard with your jobs. You have money problems. Your families are broken up. Even the weather, even that just like in Puerto Rico, even in Mexico and across these other places across the world where Jake is. The Lord is sending all these different natural disasters, upon Jake, man, and making it hard on them. You see, the Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans, they're the biggest tribe in the northern tribe. You see, over down there in Puerto Rico, you see what's going on. You got floods and disasters. They ain't got no power. The Lord is putting a spanking on them. And then on top of that too, the Latino and the Native Americans, the Lord didn't, put the curse so bad on them that, they're lighter. So all they know is that Jesus Cristo, just like with that Caesar Borgia, just like when Christopher Columbus came and with the northern tribe, one of the first things he did was put that plantation Christianity on the northern tribe over here. If you don't accept Jesus Christ, with that white blonde hair, blue-eyed, white skin tone, that red skin tone. If you don't worship him, we will cut your head off. And how many Native Americans got slaughtered? Huh? And Christopher Columbus ended up bringing what, like 500 or 600 slaves, Native American slaves, that northern tribe, back to Spain. See? And they lied and tricked the northern tribe when they came over here, man. But our forefathers been going off for so long, man. They've been, and still to this day, Jake is still going off. So the Lord has sent the sword. He just sent all a manner of evil upon Jake, man. And Jake refuses to believe, that they're the people of the Lord, and to seek him and to stop doing your wickedness. They refuse to do that. So the Lord just sends, he keeps sending evil. But the Lord is dealing with the remnant, the elect in this time. And this is why 2/3 of Jake is going to be put to death. They got to go, because they're not going to stop doing wickedness, man. Enslaving and prostituting your own women and your own men and all type of wickedness, man. Robbing and extorting them. I mean, doing all manner of evil. Jake is still doing that, still to this day. I'm just going to hit a couple and I'm going to close out. I didn't want to make this too long, but through the Spirit. Where was I at? Deuteronomy. I'm going to hit a couple and close out. Deuteronomy 28. What is that? We're going to go to Deuteronomy. I'll go straight to the meat too. Deuteronomy. Well, I'll go 28:1. 28:1. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligent, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of YAHAWAHSHI thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day. This day, he commanded thee this day, still to this day, that the Lord YAHAWAHSHI will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. See, this is what we come from. The Lord is telling us and telling our forefathers, if you do my law, statutes, and commandments, still to this day, I will put you on high above above all the earth, above all nations. I'll put you on high. You see, but Jake went off, and Jake goes off. We went off and we're still going off. So this is why 2/3 of Jake is going to be done away with. The Lord is going to do away with 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, because you don't believe and you're wicked. You see, you can't believe this. You don't believe in the name Yahweh and in the name YAHAWAHSHI. You don't believe that your heritage is from royalty and under that King David and YAHAWAHSHI. You see, you don't believe that. You believe some other people, and then, you're trying to defend these other, where the Lord loves everybody. The Lord is dealing with one nation, and that's Israel. But these are the curses for Jake going off to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. I'm going to read a couple and I'm going to close out. Call Haloyim La Yahweh by Hashem Yahawashi. It says, Deuteronomy 28:15, because the Lord said, if you hearken unto me and do my law, statutes, and commandments, I'm gonna put you on high above all nations on the earth. It says 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh by Shem Yahawashi thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. See? So let's go to 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. It don't matter where you go, you are going to be cursed. 17. Cursed shall be the basket of thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of the body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. 19. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. You see, when you come into this world, you're cursed. You got to deal with, you got to work. You have to work. You got to slave for Esau, Edom. You see, a good majority of Jake gotta, you gotta go to work. A lot of you Jakes, the average Jake is working, working at Walmart. Or, working in some warehouse or something, making $16, $17 an hour, working 40 hours a week, barely bringing home, we'll just say $600, $700, every 2 weeks or something like that. That ain't nothing, man. That ain't nothing. And here you got Esau, owning that business or that company, and they sit in the chair all day long and spin around and make jokes and think and talk about where they're gonna go golfing and if they're going hunting. They're not worried about that. But you tribes, you got a slave, man. Just like the northern tribe is out there doing that agriculture, from 6 a.m. in the morning to 7:30 at night p.m. Getting paid $6, $7 an hour. That's a shame, man. That's a curse. You go inside the store, let a Negro or a Latino or one of these Native American Indians, let Jake go inside one of these stores, to buy some food or buy some clothes or shoes or something. They're automatically going to watch him. They're going to keep a close eye on having somebody follow them around the store. I'm a living proof witness. I ain't got nothing to steal. I'm going there to buy me a shirt or some shoes, and you got some. I noticed security following me around. That's a curse, man. That's a curse. It says, let's go to we'll go to Deuteronomy 43, and it reads, it says, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. It says 44, he shall lend to thee. Jake has to, if you want a job, if you want to go get a car, if you want to get a house or a home, you have to go to Esau, Edom, these so-called white folks. It says, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Let's hop over to 54. See, that's that sign and that wonder, these curses. It says 54, I'll close out with this. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. How many fathers in Jake's life? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, your father has left. You see, your father has left. Your parents can't get along. You know, the dad got a problem with the son. You know, the wife and the dad don't get along. You know, the families is broken up. You see, it says, I'll read it one more time. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife out of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. You see, and Jake has an evil eye towards his own brother. You see, like I said, Jake will be out, you know, with their family, and then you know, eating or doing something, and you'll have another Jake, you know, all the way down to the kids. And look, you know, see another Negro family or Latino family, and you know, they got a problem with each other or something. You know, I don't like the way he walk, or you know, or try to bump into him, or try to provoke him, or go by him and say something. You know, you got an evil eye. Jake walks down the street, a Negro and a Negro man will be walking down the street, or one walking into the store and one walking out of the store, and one Jake will say, hey, how you doing? And the other Jake will just ignore him and just keep walking, or mean mug him. You see, Jake got it bad. The gang banging, you know, like I said, the prostitution, you know, all of this, man, these are all part of the curses, man. They're living in the worst, poorest conditions. You got those Native American Indians, they're living on reservations. The Latino tribes down there in South and Central America, living like third world countries. Now they trying to come up here, you know, into the land, supposedly be the land of the free. But this place, you know, is going to be destroyed. This place is going to be, you know, turned into a living hell. But they're you know, the northern tribes they're trying to, you know, pour into this the United States of America. And you do have some of the elect that's among those migrants that are coming into the U.S. You do, but a good majority of them, they're going to be destroyed, man. They're going to be destroyed because they, with their idol worship, and they continue to do wickedness, man. And they don't believe that they're Israelites. They don't believe that the so-called God of the Bible is a so-called Negro. They don't believe that, a lot of the northern tribe. But the Lord is gathering the remnant and of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians out of the 12 lost tribes of Israel. You see, these curses have been put on Jake, man, but these curses are coming off Jake. You see, they're coming off, and they will go to the other nations. They're going on them right now. That's why you seeing Esau, Edom having an evil eye towards their brother, because Russia and these white folks over here in America, even over there in Israel, the French, the German, they're all the same people. They are Esau, Edom, and they're fighting each other, and they about to blow each other to pieces. And the Lord gonna let them do that too. You see? You see, and right along with the other nations too. But these curses are coming off of Jake, man. And they're going on to the other nations. So, yeah, you know, I wanted to go in on that. I went a little long, but just through the edification, man. You know, people got to stop putting a limitation on the Lord, man. You're putting a limitation on the Lord like he can't, like it's just impossible. You see? But Jake has to read and study, man, and seek the Lord constantly. But I just wanted to touch in on that. Hopefully you're edified. I don't want Ratazah I'll come back with another lesson. But I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah Quadash. Shalom, Israel.